different. Yo, brand new floor. Get back, real shit, get funkified.
Hey guys, Nick was like, back to another video. So this time we're going to review Batman v Superman, unraw and uncut. So you're going to hear a non-comic book fan perspective of the movie, and then you're going to hear my review because I'm a comic book fan. So we have the Kryptonian Gamer here. I just want to go see it.
Yes, I am the Kryptonian Gamer, or aka Jesus, or
now,
Jesus.
Before you start this review, was this the movie you expected?
No, I did not expect the movie.
You did not expect how the movie turned out?
I did not expect.
Alright, so this is a spoiler review. So,
I expected the kryptonite, but that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. So this is a spoiler review, so we're going to give you a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're here and you haven't watched the movie, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Go watch it before you see this review, because it's going to get a lot of spoiler. We're going to get really into detail. Alright, so 3, 2, 1. Alright. Superman dies. How did you feel about that? You're wearing a Superman shirt, by the way, and I'm wearing a Batman shirt.
When it happened, when Doomsday pierced his heart, it was his heart, right?
His chest.
His chest. I thought it was like, okay, he's gonna get back up, right? I thought he was gonna get back up, but no, he stayed down, and then it shows the whole like ending of the movie is the United States. Like we're like, you know, with the ceremony, he died, blah blah blah, and it kept on like, okay, yo, it kept on saying like he's dead. I was like, oh my god, how are they gonna have a Justice League movie without Superman? That's not possible. But you already know in the end he's gonna come back alive. Either ways, what surprised me was how Flash looked. He came in a dream of Batman.
I never showed you how he looked. I just told you he was in the movie.
But he looked weird.
Yeah, that's his armor. I can show you the look.
He never wore armor though.
Do you want to see it? It's supposed to look like post-apocalyptic armor. Flash. But go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. Like, and then is he trying to tell that Superman goes rogue?
Okay, this is what I heard, and this is a theory that most people are saying. The reason why Flash comes back is because you remember the nightmare scene and how it looked like, you know, the apocalypse and stuff. That his nightmare, Bruce's nightmare. It was still not a nightmare, but he told it's supposed to be. What I'm thinking is, it's a warning of the future. So so say in the Justice League movie, I don't know. It all leads back to Flashpoint. Just think of it as that. Just think of it as a Flashpoint. Just think of it as Flashpoint. Okay, so here's his costume. This is how he actually looks like. This is concept art that was shown in a DC special. Post-apocalyptic. I can probably find better armor, but go ahead. So what else?
Oh, I just brain farted right now. When he showed the Justice League, when the first one was Aquaman,
which was fucking crazy because
yes,
Wonder Woman was looking through the files, and
then Flash doesn't look like the person I expected it would be.
Yeah, the actor got a haircut and he already made himself look blonde, so he kind of does look like Barry Allen. Now just seeing him as and hearing him as the Flash, I'm kind of getting used to him as. But
he does sound like the Flash.
First, I was like, this doesn't look, because when they first casted him, he had the long hair and everything, but he already cut it to make him look himself like Barry Allen. But when I first saw him, I was like, this is not a Barry Allen. This is a horrible casting. But what'd you think?
I actually think it was a good casting.
There was a lot of Easter eggs in this movie.
Obviously, he's gonna cut his hair. You don't see
What
Flash.
about Aquaman? When Aquaman showed up,
Aquaman looks awesome. Supposedly, he's the weakest hero. I would assume.
He's not the weakest hero,
but
he's as strong as Superman.
Yeah, but then underwater, I would assume, right?
Yeah, just underwater.
Underwater, but they made him look really cool, like a gangster version of the cartoon one.
A gangster version.
The gangster version. I think he has like tattoos all around him.
No, it's not. I don't know. It probably is tattoos.
And he had like cool dreadlocks hair, and he had his little spear. He had the spear that doesn't look like a pitchfork anymore. It's like all godish looking, you know. It's all gold and whatnot. Which I'm not saying it's a bad design. It looks really cool and whatnot. But and then Cyborg, I forgot.
We freaked out when they showed the little mother box or whatever.
Yeah, what was the box again?
It was a boom tube in the movie, because you only seen the movie, right? Because I've seen the comic, but you only seen the movie, right? The Justice League War movie, the one where they fight Darkseid.
Oh, Flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that was it, right?
Okay, here's a better look.
Okay.
The costume. That's how it looks like. It's modeled after a video game, and I think it's pretty cool, especially the emblem.
Oh my god.
But
I don't see Flash wearing armor though.
No one does, to be honest.
I don't see him wearing armor.
Anyway. Story-wise, what did you think of it? What did you think of the first act? Because the first act, it went from scene to scene to scene to scene.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like first, first it went to Lois, and then it cut out, and then it went to Clark Kent, and then it cut out, and then it went to Bruce Wayne, and it cut out 5 minutes later, and so on and so on. And
Well,
so
they
on.
have to do that. What would you would have done? What would you?
It felt rushed in the first act. Like I would have not jammed. Okay, now I understand why people hated this movie because it felt jam packed. Like they wanted to explain everyone as soon as possible. Literally, like everything was just thrown at. This is one of the movies you have to see a second time to understand what's really going on. So when the first act, it is very fast paced, and you have to not be distracted. I totally forgot to mention there was 2 birds in our theater. 2 birds in our theater, which I thought. Okay, because they always showed up when Batman had came. I thought it was a bat. I thought it was like, yeah, that's some pretty good 3D. And then I take off my glasses. Boom, there's 2 birds. And we're like, oh my god, it's 2 birds. And then I think they died of explosions or something, but...
They died when?
I don't know, because they never came back after that.
Okay, that's what I gotta say about
Anyway, but
about
the film, it is not a comic book film. It is not... I would not bring a little kid there.
Different.
Little kids cried when we walked out the theater.
Okay, well, what do you think about the explosion?
Oh my god. Okay, so if you guys don't know, during the courtroom scene where Superman's being in the hearing, it
Well, in short, everybody dies.
in short, everyone dies in front of Superman, and Superman is the only one left standing, and that was like an oh my god. You saw me how I
saw
was.
you're like, oh.
I was about to scream like, oh my god.
Basically, Lex Luthor put a bomb
in a
wheelchair that was convicting Superman of...
This Lex Luthor is very... How'd you like Lex Luthor? This Lex Luthor. You said
he's very different. I'm sorry, he's not from the comics. Or this like the cartoon series. He's like...
Okay, so people complaining that like
No, I don't mind Lex Luthor. He's really good, but he's kind of crazy. I would assume
he's crazy. Yeah,
he sounds crazy. Like kind of not Joker crazy, but like kind of toned down a little bit.
There's multiple. There's every single version we've seen a dark and menacing one. This one is just completely like crazy, especially the music. The classical music makes it a little bit more better. But anyway, yes, this movie is really fast paced, especially with the first act. You're gonna have to keep it. It's gonna basically try to explain everyone's story in short. Also, in the very beginning, the guy who was shot in the head, that was Jimmy Olsen, and Zack Snyder confirmed that was Jimmy Olsen, and they killed him off because they didn't have room for the canyon in there. And there's as much characters that there is. Yeah, it's pretty giant. To be honest, even though the Flash and Cyborg and Aquaman were just small cameos and they only appeared for like a couple seconds in the movie, the rest of the characters, it just feels so jam packed because they got.
And then we can't leave out the part. Or many parts where Batman kills a lot of people.
Batman kills. I was sitting there laughing my ass off.
I was laughing when...
Because...
I was like, okay, they're not alive, right?
I was so excited. The car
because in the trailer, it looked like he disabled them. Okay, yeah. like he's going to make them retarded.
But in the car chase, this dude is shooting at him with a machine gun.
He explodes people.
Yeah.
They're not coming back from that. Okay. They're not... Okay, no. They're dead. He shoots people with miniguns. They're not baby bullets.
How did you like the nightmare scene? The one with the little Funko Pop I have over there.
I was kind of confused with the devil-looking creatures. They're not from...
They're parademons. They're Darkseid's minions.
Well, yeah, I'll be...
The Darkseid never showed up.
Well, Dark Knight never showed up.
Darkseid.
Okay. They hinted him with Lex Luthor saying the gods, but he doesn't know about him yet.
He does know about him.
What?
He does. Apparently, it's rumored that he does know about him. That's why he said he's coming. He's coming. Every single devil reference Lex Luthor makes is hinting at Darkseid. Mm-hmm. There's no way they're not gonna have Darkseid. But the story. Okay, so let's get into the story before we get into all these Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. And I will do a separate video for just Easter eggs. There is a lot of really storytelling. It's one of those movies where it tells multiple stories. Also, the origin story of Bruce Wayne in the beginning is fantastic. I was hoping not to see, a 5 minute or 10 minute scene of young Bruce Wayne walking down an alleyway and get shot. We've already seen that so many times. And
They
this
speeded
one,
it up.
They speeded it up, and it was just for the opening credits, and it was a very unique way to do it. But anyway, so this story, yeah, it is not anything it shows you in it. The trailers don't show you anything.
Batman in the corner. And
Okay, the first time Batman shows up, he's in the corner.
He's like the Grudge.
It's scary as shit. A little kid screamed in the audience.
first of all, to explain the situation, it's a police officer, right? Walks into the building, and there's a victim of Batman, you know, the criminal. And then he, like, it's like a 3D spin. He checks around the room, and then you see behind him, there's a
Bat-like creature.
Yeah,
and it was Batman.
He's just right there in the corner, just
But
look at him.
Batman in this movie is just like fucking. It's like he's like Daredevil, but in his own unique little way. And I'm gonna be honest here. Bale's performance topped my Chris. I did not think it was gonna top it. But Ben Affleck topped Bale in this movie. He made the way Batman fought made Bale look like Adam West. And the only really hands-on combat we really got was in The Dark Knight Rises for
But I think
Christian Bale.
Batman needs this though. He needs. I'm not saying he's guy has to be a stone cold killer,
But he's brutal. But
he has to be brutal.
His suit, his gloves, the reason they're gold, those are brass knuckles put into his thing. This Batman is brutal. Like, little kids will not, like, if I was 8 years old and went to go see this movie thinking, I'm going to see a Batman
Batman
movie.
looks like he's an evil character.
Batman looks like he's an evil character. Superman, it's an interesting way they put him, especially way before he dies. I did not think they were going to kill him off.
I did.
That was a big shock. And I got spoiled for that. I didn't even know I got
cried
spoiled
in that moment. I was like...
The whole theater was sniffling. The whole theater. And it was just insane.
And then, okay, the fight. The Batman and Superman.
Let's talk about that.
I want to talk about that. I know Batman technically kicked his ass, but it was only because of kryptonite.
I'm saying this as a Batman fan. I was upset that Batman used so much kryptonite, but I guess, you know, it was... They explained it because we saw when the kryptonite wore off, Batman literally was like... He was punching like a... He was basically like him punching a fucking... cement. There's...
To put it in perspective, it's like a teddy bear was trying to beat us up.
Yeah.
And we just let it punch us.
Okay, so who do you think Batman won, but cheated?
Okay, be honest.
Okay, we're not okay
with no kryptonite.
Who cares if he cheated or not? It's a fight.
It's a fight.
You have to do whatever you fight.
You can't make the.
Do you think Batman win? Because as a Batman, fan,
Batman won.
I think it's a tie.
No.
Because Superman didn't fight back. He held back a lot. He held back a lot.
You could just send him to the moon right there, and then just like he died in gravity.
Even before Batman was gonna kill him with the kryptonite staff. He stopped because he goes, Martha, they're gonna kill Martha. And when Lex Luthor showed the pictures of Martha Wayne, I immediately went, this is not a PG-13 movie. This is a hardcore.
And then how
this should it was very close to be rated R. This was a very close movie. Man of Steel is so much lighter in tone that this movie is the darkest comic book movie I have seen to date. And this is a DC, and people were like, DC are for kids. This is not for kids. This movie is specifically not for kids. This is for young teenage and adult fans. This is the movie for fans, made by, I guess, a fan, because Zack Snyder is a huge
and fan. If you're a parent, I advise you not to bring your children.
Don't bring your kid, please. There's a lady who brought her kid in, and I feel very bad.
And they cried near our seats.
The little kid, he did not sit down. He sat up, cried, and he was like, "Mommy, does Superman always die?" And I was like, "Dude, kid."
Yeah, I tried to ignore him.
But he was very distracting. So I'm kind of glad that I am gonna go see the movie a second time.
And okay, the nuke scene when they nuke him.
There were so many visual references to the Dark Knight.
I thought it was beautiful, the CGI. I thought it was really.
You like the CGI? I was afraid.
The CGI was perfect in the movie.
Before I went to see the movie, I was afraid of how they were going to use the CGI.
The CGI was perfect.
CGI was perfect.
How they made him look like he was like
a zombie
like his whole he looked like a skeleton, zombie fight basically. And then the sun got him up, and then I hate Lois Lane because I feel like Lois Lane
was a badass, to be honest.
I know.
She went into a terrorist group. Didn't know she was being used, and she didn't even blink.
I feel like she was a bother to Superman. All the situations she was in,
She okay.
Batman
let
was
me-
framed twice.
Let me
I
explain.
mean, Superman was framed
Let me
twice.
explain. This is actually, I think, K-Wing made this. K or Nightwing or whatever. He starts with a K. He explained that the reason Superman's with Lois Lane is because Lois Lane is the connection between being an alien and a human. So without Superman knowing Lois Lane, Superman loses that human connection. Like, for example, you know how when his mom was kidnapped, he was like, "Where have you taken her?" He showed the feelings of a son. So that shows like Lois Lane is the human connection towards Superman. Now, I know a lot of fans. For example, Nemesis. I know you hated this movie. Going into it, during the first act, I was really ready to hate on this movie because I was like, "Where the fuck are you going with this?" But the first act ends after the explosion with the Catholic building, and no one saw that coming. Did you see that coming?
I did not see that
No
coming.
one saw that coming. No one in the goddamn
I did
theater
not
saw
see
that coming. That was a huge plot twist. Lex Luthor killed off his own assistant. His own assistant. Do you imagine you being in Superman's spot? Just witnessing everyone die in that courtroom in front of your aunt. Do you know how evil that is? That is some dark ass shit.
And then he thought to himself that he couldn't save them.
He couldn't save them.
He couldn't save them. He wasn't fast enough. He didn't look at them.
Literally, the trailers, they make it seem like a little light movie, but this movie is fucking dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
This is a DC movie that I've loved, and this shows exactly the DC dark and grittiness. Like, this isn't meant for kids. Like, Marvel, get the fuck out. There's no like.
The fight scenes are way better than Marvel. I'm not trying to be.
We're not trying to hate. We're not trying to hate.
Yeah, but like
We
how they
Marvel,
fight, like the CGI is way better. Like I can't explain. Like when they fought Tron, I'm like, what's the name? Oh, I forgot. Ultron.
Ultron? Yeah,
there
Ultron.
we go. It wasn't.
The only actually good fight scenes are in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
That's one of the best Marvel movies out. There is. But this movie, if you are a comic book fan and you go in with this with no one influencing your views on this, and I kind of did because I was like, wow, I'm hearing a lot of shit about this first act, and I went in there and I'm like, you know what, it's affected me, this first act. So then there towards the second act, I was like, you know what, let's go in this unbiased, and I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And yeah, I wasn't. I did not. I paid in the second act. You really do feel for Superman. Because it's like
The whole world's against him.
I didn't even like Superman like that. And now I want to learn more about him. Because especially during the end when he dies, that was like, holy fucking. And that was the first time I cried for Superman in the Superman movie ever since Superman Returns. And Superman Returns came out when I was like 7 or 8.
Dude, another question is, when they fought Doomsday, you thought it was rushed, the fight? Because they ended
The
fast.
fight, no, it was like a 10-minute fight. But what I thought was rushed.
Doomsday kicked
What I
their
thought
ass.
was rushed
Mhm.
was the first act. The first act felt a little rushed because it was very fast paced. But anyway, yes, Doomsday kicked. Our audience was boring. I was hoping for people to cheer. Our audience was really boring. I apologize for that.
They were just quiet the whole time. I was like,
I was ready to scream, but everyone just sat there like deeply like, come on, this isn't the DC fans I know. Like, come on, this is. Like, they only clapped for Wonder Woman, and I clapped too, but I was ready to scream, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah, dude, Wonder Woman.
Because everyone's movie experiences, they all sound like, oh my god, they had so much fun, I can't wait to go. And this one, it's like, it's the environment of a standardized, like, movie. Like, it just feels like a regular. When I went to go see this movie, I like, the first time I was actually in an environment like that was Star Wars. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. Anyway, yeah, this movie basically. It's setting up the Justice League. Basically after the second act, it sets up the Justice League.
Without Green Lantern.
Without Green Lantern. Because I guess fuck Green Lantern for now.
Which sucks, because they need Green Lantern, dude. Like, Green Lantern's Green Lantern. He's like the main character. Not the main character, but he's like a character.
Well, who was your favorite character in this movie?
The
Doomsday?
Nah.
Doomsday didn't even talk. What is your favorite
Rah. No, I would think Superman.
Superman?
I wouldn't say Batman because he
Not
wasn't-
being biased, but...
No, I'm not being biased because Batman wasn't like the main. He wasn't the focus.
And I expected... they said, Batman gets more screen time, but he didn't feel like he got more. It felt like
No.
Superman was the one who was getting more attention.
Mhm.
And trust me, the trailers... It was people were mad at showing. Were you mad? You were mad when they showed Doomsday.
Yeah, I thought they could have just like.
Everything, the trailers only told you so much. Literally everything that's happened in the movie. It did not. When you first walk in, it does not feel like a comic book movie. It feels like a fucking action dark thriller with Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman.
It throws you off every scene.
It throws you off. There was so many what the fuck moments. Me holding my hand, going, "Oh my god, you sat there you were focused than I've ever saw you before."
It was hard to pay attention with the little kids and the birds.
Yeah, little kids and the birds. But anyway, goddamn, this is a 20-minute review. I don't care. Okay. So Easter eggs. Let's get into Easter eggs. Before I do my full Easter egg video, I'm just gonna hint out a little hints. There is a lot of dialogue in the movie that hints back towards The Dark Knight Returns. There's a lot of visual Easter eggs. One in particular that I actually did like was what was it again? Oh, the Superman with the nuke. I was like, there's no way they're gonna make him zombie. I was like, no way they're gonna make him zombie. I call him zombie Superman because he looked like a zombie. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no way. I hope they make him touch flowers like they did in the movie.
Oh, they didn't even touch flowers.
It was just he looked at the sun and he goes, but yeah, the CGI was spot on, and you can't even tell it was CGI. You can't even tell.
Well, when they fought Doomsday, yeah, obviously.
Wonder Woman. Did you like Wonder Woman? Or did you feel like they could? I felt like they could have done more with her.
I felt like she was weaker.
She's not weaker.
She looked weak against Doomsday.
Because she was the only one fighting Doomsday.
Out of everything, because Lois Lane.
Oh my god.
Was like in trouble, so Superman had to go save her, so Wonder Woman was right there.
Basically, Lois Lane is the cause of Superman's death.
Basically, yeah. I think her sword could have killed Doomsday, couldn't it?
Okay, I was just like thinking this the whole time Superman was flying with that staff. Couldn't he have just thrown the staff at Doomsday?
I think he was not strong enough.
He wasn't strong enough? You don't
Because looked at him when he was trying to pick up the staff. He was already dying.
I was hoping Wonder Woman would have picked it up. Like, come on, don't make Superman do that hard work. Don't make him, like, he's going to get stuck. And then when he stabbed him...
I think Wonder Woman was already having a hard time with
When he stabbed him, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, the soundtrack. Did you like the soundtrack?
Which part?
The soundtrack is basically the music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know that, but like which part? Like the soundtrack?
Wonder Woman is my favorite soundtrack in the movie.
Oh, when it felt like a rock sound. I was like,
that is.
It's getting you pumped and like, oh shit.
We were the only two pumped guys in the theater.
Yeah, and that's when Batman just looked at him doing nothing. Well, I can't fight that person.
he literally stands there in the movie and he just looks at him like.
And then he runs away and then shoots him with the grenade. The grenade launcher.
I like this Batman. Did you like this Batman?
I really like this Batman.
It's a different twist. Mm-hmm. Batman kills. I counted 30.
Obviously.
How much did you count it? Did you even count?
I didn't count. This nigga was killing people every scene.
This dude was like the Punisher.
He was killing people every scene.
He was like, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
No, please.
Just kills him. My god. They're not BB bullets.
This Batman is nothing we've ever seen before on screen. I know for a fact that when I think it wasn't about Michael Keaton was Batman, he did kill, but this Batman is brutal.
I felt like Superman's easy. It felt easy like him to go like to get pissed off, right? Imagine if his mother did die. Would he be able to control his anger?
I felt like they should have killed off his mother because his mom and dad do die in the comics.
But would he be able to control his anger? If you saw him when they just kidnapped his mother. He almost killed Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he would have been able. I think he wouldn't have been full on rage on Doomsday. He probably would have killed him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
But yeah. This whole movie basically just says with the Justice League. I know this is kind of a sloppy review, but we're just basically giving our thoughts because we've only seen it at one time.
Yeah, I laughed a little when they shaved his hair in the prison. I was like,
I laughed at every Batman scene when he was killing people. I was
so
like,
funny.
dude, this is brutal and I love it. This is the best movie ever. The Dark Knight is still probably one of my favorite comic book movies, but I don't know. This has to be on either number. It's tied with The Dark Knight right now. And they're both number one on my spot list right now.
But what I'm wondering is why do people hate the movie?
It's okay. Most of the reviews I've been hearing is because it's not a popcorn movie. This is from critics. This is not from fans. They go, it's not a fun environmental. I'll show you some reviews after. I'll show you some reviews after.
What do they mean by that?
It's not very fun not very fun in a popcorn shooting movie. Basically, basically they're talking about Marvel. They even quote Marvel, like it's not like Marvel's fun environment.
Well, it's never meant to be like Marvel.
It's not. Yeah, DC is a totally different company. DC does their own thing. Look, I'm gonna say this right now. If you're a Marvel fan and you enjoy this movie, I applaud you because you have most Marvel movie. I know some diehard Marvel fans, and they completely love this movie. If you're just used to the Marvel comic book movies, because those are really the only comic book movies we've gotten for the past 10 years or 8 years, then of course you're probably not going to be used to this one, and you probably won't like it as much. But if you're used to that dark and gritty side of DC Comics, then of course I'm used to it. You weren't used to that, and you were like shocked because Batman. I was expecting Batman to kill, and to be honest,
I was so surprised. Like, did the nigga just shoot a torpedo? Did he just explode? He ain't coming back from that. He died. He ain't coming back.
We at the car scene. What the? Fuck?
Every time Batman comes with the vehicle, it has a minigun.
Basically,
on
every
it.
time Batman comes, you're gonna have fun in the movie theater.
He comes and then he's chasing the trucks. That I think if Superman didn't come and step the car, he would have got the Kryptonian already. But either way, he still gets it from Lex Luthor.
You know what you shouldn't have done since you got all that money in your account? You should have bought out the whole theater, and then me and you just go in there.
That's a waste of money.
I don't care, because I wanted to scream so bad. But this audience looked like they didn't want to fuck around. Like they read every negative review and they were expecting this movie to suck ass. Before we went to see the movie, actually, everyone who walked out the last showing had a disappointing face, and I was like, this movie, I can already tell something's gonna be wrong with it. And well, the only gripes I had was with the first act. The first act was very confusing to me, and it's one of those movies you gotta watch twice in order to understand it fully. And I was hoping it wasn't, but I guess it doesn't matter because I'm gonna go watch it the second time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people walked out disappointed, and some people walked out like really happy. I walked out literally just like my hands are shaking.
We couldn't stop talking.
We could not stop talking about this movie. We had to go outside, isolate ourselves from the public because there was a longer line for the nighttime IMAX screening.
And with Starbucks.
And we got Starbucks, which made us wide awake. I'm wide awake right now. Are you wide awake?
Too. Sure didn't have caffeine?
Yeah, dude. I told you.
God.
But anyway, yeah. This movie is a DC comic book movie, and I'm glad you liked it because you're used to the Marvel films. Because you haven't read a comic book. From this comic book, I would say I would give you don't like reading, huh?
No, comic books. I'm not like a big person about that. Manga.
If I give you a short comic book and it's a really good one, would you read it?
I'll read it.
Hang on.
That's too thick.
No. This is a short comic book. It looks long, but it's short. It took me half an hour to read.
Okay, Alan Moore.
The longest it takes for someone to read this is an hour, but it's really good. And then it's dark. Let me show you. I'm showing him the Killing Joke, by the way. There is
Killing Joke.
No references to Killing Joke or anything as most people thought.
Isn't it with the Love Tunnel one?
Yeah, no, that's The Dark Knight Returns. This is a dark and gritty comic book. He literally strips down a girl.
Joker's like what?
He strips down a girl in this comic book.
Why?
Let me show you. See, strips her down. It's a really dark and gritty comic. I would recommend it if you like the movie. You're gonna like this one.
All right.
I guess I'll bring it to you on school when you can just read it. But anyway.
But you said this was gonna connect with Suicide Squad.
This is connecting with Suicide
How
Squad.
is this gonna connect?
Okay.
But did the Suicide Squad happen before this or after this?
This is happening after this.
After this.
So whatever happens up, so basically this is going to affect, like, the news is going to be out, Superman is dead, Batman is out of retirement, Wonder Woman is a new, all these new metahumans are coming out, and I actually do like the reference on the metahumans in the movie.
It sounds cool.
Yeah, that's from The Flash, to be honest, the Flash TV show.
Metahumans.
Now, one more thing, if you're this far to the review, and I'm pretty happy in you if you probably made it. High five. High
five.
You know what? Comment hashtag alien. What was it? What was the hashtag in the movie? Just put the hashtag false god if you're false god, because that's what it says in your t-shirt. Anyway, so before it's Zack Snyder has confirmed and that DC has decided this whole. They are in the same multiverse. Now, if you don't know what the multiverse is, it's basically a lot of Earths connected. Like, say, okay, Earth 1, this is our Earth. Earth 2 is different history. It basically here, we use laptops, and then in the second universe they use some like weird 3D monitor. Anyway, yeah, they're all connected in the same multiverse, which is pretty cool. But what is your favorite? Before we end the review, because it's getting half an hour, what was your favorite thing in the movie? Favorite thing?
Favorite thing?
Favorite thing that has happened?
When Batman was mauling Superman's face, and then the kryptonite wore off.
Oh yeah.
And then he just stood there like Batman was whacking like a big wall, and it did like nothing.
I was like, I don't want to be near you during this fight.
Because
the fight was kind of underwhelming, to be honest, for me. It was underwhelming.
I felt like Superman was actually getting into it like midway.
No. Like,
what do you mean?
Underwhelming means like it wasn't that like the hype. Like I was excited for the fight, but it seemed kind of short. I was expecting a longer fight.
I wasn't hyped because Superman didn't want to fight. If you understood Superman's situation, you felt bad for him. You're like...
Because literally, the fight is in like the halfway mark of the movie. The fight is the halfway mark of the movie.
No, because I think we didn't feel hyped because before the fight... Because
all that commotion.
All the sad, the mad things were happening. How Superman was feeling, how he's feeling destroyed inside.
This movie is going to fuck with you emotionally.
And then it just starts the fight. And then, it becomes like Batman with cocky because he has kryptonite. You can tell he's cocky when he has the kryptonite. But when the kryptonite runs out, he just, gets his ass whooped.
Yeah, so the favorite thing was that. I would say my favorite thing was, God, I don't know. There's so many stuff. It's on my mind now. The favorite thing was when Lex Luthor showed the pictures to Superman. Because it showed, Lex Luthor is that fucking powerful. He literally brought a god, and I mean Superman, down to his knees. I don't know. This movie. I
felt like this Superman, if he had nobody hostage, he would have killed Lex Luthor. I think the superheroes are more brutal.
The superheroes in DC are more brutal. Marvel does have some dark comics.
No, because I'm so used to the cartoon movies. They make him feel like they're sympathetic.
The comics are not what you expect. They're dark. Every single DC comic book I have here. This one right here. You wouldn't like it because it's a long one. It's called Watchmen. This one, I can't take it out. Remember the one I bought at San Francisco? That was that changed the way I looked on life. It's gonna change. It changed the way I looked on life. It's not. They're called the Watchmen, and it has nothing to do with Superman or Flash or Batman or anything. It's crazy, but anyway.
DC?
Yeah, it's
Watchmen
a DC comic.
DC?
They have a movie if you want to watch the movie. It's a pretty tight movie too, but yeah, my favorite thing was Lex Luthor, kind of. I had mixed feelings about him, but the moment where he showed Superman the pictures, I was like, you know what, Lex, you are a fucking genius. You brought down a god to his knees, and I don't know. I felt Lex Luthor had a lot of power in this movie. He really shined in this movie. But yeah, Batman. Ben Affleck does rank in my top. He ranks over Christian Bale, and I didn't think he was gonna do that because Christian Bale to me was the definition of Batman. But Ben Affleck is now my number one Batman. You like
I like this Batman.
You like this Batman?
I like this Batman just because he kills people, but I just like this Batman.
I think.
And supposedly he doesn't use guns. This dude use every fucking arsenal.
I wonder how Alfred feels. He probably doesn't even tell him. So, I heard an explosion. What was that? Nothing, Alfred. I ran into a fish.
I'm stunning bad guys.
But you're not on the port no more. GPS is screwed up. Any last words before we end it?
Superman's better.
Superman was better. I felt like they did do Superman justice in this movie. If you hated Man of Steel and you have an open mind, then you would probably like this movie.
But I also feel like Superman can get stronger. It felt like he's barely.
Yeah.
I feel like he's weak.
Supergirl is stronger than him because he wrote it. It's complicated. Anyway, that's about it. It's about half an hour. I'll do an Easter egg video pretty soon. I gotta go see it. I'm probably gonna write down notes of what I saw and what to. It's gonna be pretty cool Easter egg. But this is just raw, uncut review. I'm not gonna do another review. This is just a really raw, uncut video review of what we think. So final scores. 8 out of 10. The first act was so fucking fast, but once when it got to that courthouse scene, it flipped shit. There's so many what the fuck moments, and this movie, if you're a diehard DC comic book fan like me, if you're like a comic book fan like me, you're gonna love this movie. And it's a pretty good movie. 8 out of 10 for right now. And I didn't expect I was ready to give it a 10 out of 10, but this movie maybe go down to 8. I'm gonna sleep on it. Maybe it'll go down to 7. Maybe it'll go up to 9. But who knows? Right now it's at an 8, 10. I did enjoy some parts. I enjoyed the Batman parts especially. Everything. The fight could have been a little bit more. We deserved maybe a little bit more, but I guess we'll get more of that in the director's cut. So what would you give this movie? What would you give? Out of 1 out of 10.
As not like a comic fan, like you are.
That's
like,
not a comic book fan, yeah.
I give it a 10 out of 10. I
10
thought
out
it
of
was
10?
perfect.
Thought it was perfect. You thought it was a perfect movie.
Yeah.
No flaws, no nothing.
No flaws.
No flaws.
I thought it was perfect. Like you said, it rushed it, but depending on the time they had,
It depends on who you. It
Yeah,
depends on
2
how.
hours
It depends
and
on
a
how you watch a. It depends on who you are as a comic book fan.
But usually, how movies run, they're usually an hour and a half. How much was
Man of Steel?
Man of Steel?
2 hours and a half.
How was Avengers?
2 hours and a half.
Okay, never mind.
No, not 2 hours. It was only 2 hours.
But if you notice, they're all like, you can't just make that movie go over
This
3 hours.
This movie, you cannot. And I saw a critic reference it to Avengers. You cannot.
No, you can't connect this.
You cannot connect this to Avengers. It's nothing like the Avengers.
It's like the complete opposite.
It's the complete fucking opposite. DC is known for their own style. But yeah, so 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for me. It's probably going to go up. Maybe I'm just going to sleep on it and see how I feel. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. This is Nick was like with Kryptonian Gamer.
Yup.
And we will see you guys in the next video.
Good night.
Peace. Good night.